Hi guys, so today is December 5th and I'm at mile 5,894 and I am here in Bellingham with my friend Stacy.
Hi everybody.
And Stacy, can you tell us where it is that we are at?
We are at beautiful Zuanich Point Park in Bellingham, Washington, right in the middle of Bellingham's working waterfront. It's also the home of Bellingham Budfest. So we produce a little festival down here, and it's one of the gems of Bellingham because it's kind of a hidden park. I know people who have lived in this town for decades, had no idea this place was down here. It has a boathouse over here, which is actually more of a community building. And inside there at Bellingham Budfest, we host a series of educational panels. It's got a full kitchen, all kinds of stuff. And then of this beautiful field, and of course this hill right here, which is perfect for putting a stage and bands on. And that makes this park perfect for a small cannabis type festival. Back in the 70s, the park wasn't here, but it's where we'd all go to smoke pot. And we called it Joint Point. And so it's now called Zuanich Point, named after Pete Zuanich, a port commissioner. But it has a proud history. It goes way back with the cannabis users that were commercial fishermen down here in the 70s.
So, would you tell everybody how you and I met?
Well, we met through Seattle Hempfest. You got a hold of us and said that told us all about your walking through the pain and how you were going to walk from California to Seattle to attend Hempfest. And I've been involved with Seattle Hempfest for, I don't know, about 22 years. And it was really great to meet you there. And the whole idea that in spite of fibro and things, that you're out here on this walk and sharing your story with all these people. So, yeah, when I heard you were coming, it's like, that's pretty darn compelling. I got to meet this guy.
Yeah, have you had anybody do any kind of similar journeys to Hempfest?
Not that I know of. You know, I know people drive and hitchhike, and whatever way they get there, people come from all over to Seattle Hempfest. But I think you're the first one that's ever walked there, at least that far. This is actually where we put our stage for the festival. And up around here in the back was where our backstage was. And in my opinion, we probably had the chillest backstage ever, just because of all this beauty and nature down here. I mean, it's not a large park, but it sure makes up for it with all of this.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But see, there's this little path here. And normally, these are all rose hips. And in the summer, of course, they're in bloom. And we plunked our little backstage right up here.
So, you were talking about Budfest.
Uh-huh.
How long has that been going on?
Well, only 1 year.
Okay.
We were set to do our second one this year, but the pandemic hit and we got shut down. We are scheduled to come back in 2021. We'll see. It would be July 17th. We're cautiously optimistic. Not sure if we're going to be able to do it, but we will be back. It's funny, though, that I thought about doing an event in this very park probably 15 years ago. And one day Amanda and I were driving and I went, man, you know, we really should produce a cannabis festival up here in Bellingham that celebrates our cannabis industry here, because we have more licensed cannabis businesses in Whatcom County per capita than any county in Washington State.
Wow.
And again, when we talk about Joint Point, you know, Bellingham's got a reputation as being a cannabis-friendly city, and we also have a goal to normalize and legitimize cannabis in our society. We want to make it as normal as having a glass of wine at a wine festival, or having a beer in a beer garden at any kind of festival. We would like to one day see a cannabis consumption garden, and we're working towards that here. But we're also trying to produce an event that includes families and is family friendly and doesn't have a lot of kids running around smoking weed like you might see at festivals elsewhere. And we really pulled it off, and we had a ton of kids and a ton of families, and it was just beautiful to see all of that. And if you actually go to our Facebook page, Bellingham Budfest, you can see a lot of photos of what went on. And our goal again is to normalize this in society. The cannabis users are no different than anybody else, and we have been vilified and looked down upon for a long time. And it's about time that everybody looks around and goes, hey, you know, that's actually a superior recreational substance that actually, you know, it's hard to even call it a cannabis festival as much as it's a health and wellness festival, because including cannabis in your life is a really healthy thing to do, considering, you know, a lot of folks use alcohol instead, and
or opiates.
You know, yeah, or opioids, yeah. And the fact that cannabis is both recreational and medicinal, although some people have told me that they think that all use is therapeutic, and I tend to agree that you know, it really opens you up to so much spiritually and mentally, and it's healthy. It's a great stress reliever. And so the fact that cannabis has been, you know, had to go through 70 years of prohibition, and we're just starting to come out of that, it's time that we start to have more events that celebrate it and bring it out and say, hey, this is really a good thing in our society. And so that's our goal. And yeah, we got one down.
Right on.
We hope to do many, many more until we achieve that goal.
Right on. So, well, with that said, what is it that you specifically use cannabis for?
Anxiety, stress. This year's been really rough on everybody. I find cannabis really helps with that just underlying level of stress and anxiety. I'm 60 years old now. Sleep's a big thing, so it really helps with sleep. And then I blew my liver out on alcohol 5 years ago, and cannabis was a great help in my stopping drinking and moving on to actually kind of healing my liver. My doctor tells me that I'm the only person his age that he has seen not only quit alcohol after being so addicted to it, but to actually turn around and have my liver start to heal. 5 years ago, this same doctor told me, it doesn't matter what you do, in 5 to 10 years, you will have to have a liver transplant. And I actually started going through that thing. But I'd read about a terpene called betacaryophyllene, and that helps with addiction and cravings. And I sought out cannabis strains that were high in betacaryophyllene. And I really think that helped me quit alcohol. And every time my doctor, I mean, I'm still at my age, the stigma, the cannabis stigma is still there. I want to tell my doctor when he says, what are you doing? What's your secret? I want to go, it's cannabis. But I'm still kind of apprehensive too. At this point, I'm getting to a point where I really don't give a shit. Probably when I see him soon, I'll tell him what it is. But cannabis saved my life in that regards and really helped me get off of a really serious addiction, which was alcohol. And so if you're struggling with alcohol, look for betacaryophyllene in your strains. Look for strains that are tested for terpenes, or go to Leafly or one of those places and look it up, find out what strains have it. It will really help.
What made you want to come out and walk a mile with me?
Why wouldn't I wanna? You know, looking at what you do and your journey, it's amazing. And I believe in the magic, and I believe in what you're doing. And, you know, so that the primary reason is, well, doggone it, it just makes sense to go out and walk a mile with Seth and share some cannabis and share some stories. And also, you know, with my health being what it is, I need to get my fat ass out anyways. So I appreciate the opportunity to go walk a mile. But seriously, if you've got a chance, hook up with Seth and walk that fucking mile, man.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Holy crap. See, that's another reason you want to walk a mile with Seth, is you can see stuff like this. We were looking at the sun setting over Lummi Island. Bellingham Bay. The other large island there is Orcas Island.
So that would be Orcas?
That's Orcas, yeah.
Okay.
And then down there where you see the Olympics starting to appear as they get backlit by the sun, there's a whole bunch more islands down there. Those are all islands. There's like 8 of them. Don't ask me their names. I know Susha's there, Eliza's there. I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking all back up in here, guys.
Oh, there's hundreds of islands in the San Juan Island chain. But again, where can you stand and look at a beautiful city? You can see Mount Baker. You can see all these fishing boats. It's
Yeah,
a nice
right there
park.
is Mount Baker, guys.
Yeah. And to the right of Mount Baker is the Sisters.
Oh, okay. Right
Those
there.
other 2 peaks, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, on that note, I think we should continue on with the walk.
Let's go walk, buddy.
All right.
Let's head back and catch the sunset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we walk back around. That's close to a mile.
Yeah, I think so.
Man, look at this.
Oh yeah. So you're you have a radio show.
Oh yeah, I do have a radio show. The show is called Bloch Off.
Okay.
The station is 94.9 KZAX.
Okay.
We're a low power FM community radio station. Our broadcast radius is small, but we're streaming online as well. And so really you can hear us all over the world. Yeah, on my show, we cover topics ranging from cannabis, of course, politics, and then we focus a lot on homelessness, criminal justice reform, community, and things like that. On Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., Thursday evenings at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how can they find that?
It's 94.9 KZAX LPFM radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they're in the area, they can tune that in on their radios, and then if they're on the other side of the globe, how do they find you?
You go to the TuneIn radio app. It's a free app.
Okay.
And you put in KZAX LPFM, and you could. Our tagline is "Music That Matters." It'll come right up. Listen to it right on your phone.
Right on.
Be sure to scroll past all the attempts to make you pay for TuneIn Radio.
Okay. Good to
It's
know.
a free app, but they'll try to get you to pay for it.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of your episodes, and there's definitely a lot more humans around on this one.
Yeah.
But we still managed to have a sesh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Stoner ninjas. You smell us, but you don't see us.
Yeah. Yeah, normally I prefer to go to parks that are a bit more secluded nowadays.
I've seen that, yeah.
That's one reason among many that we're actually wearing the masks, and that I'm wearing the mask throughout the entire episode because of where we are right now. Yeah, because I'm encountering a lot of people who are immune compromised. My brother Corey out in Spokane, he's got really bad lung disease, you know. Right now, if he were to get corona, I know me and many of us are actually worried that he wouldn't make it through.
Oh yeah, it could be a death sentence.
So like when I was out there, hung out with him, my circle was really small. Even then, someone in our circle ended up getting COVID, tested positive. Luckily for us, in my circle, we all raced right out to go get tested, and every single buddy came back negative.
Right.
But while I was waiting for my test to come back, where I'd been staying at, the lady I stay with has lupus. So I called her up because I just went out, got my tooth pulled, and found out that my buddy came back testing positive, and I'm like, holy shit. So I called up my friend and said, hey, Mama Lou, can you bring my backpack down to me? And she's like, why, what's going on? I'm like, well, my friend just tested positive. I'm gonna go hide up in the woods. Yeah, my gear isn't geared for this, but I don't want to get anybody sick. Last thing I want to do is be the angel of death and disease.
Oh yeah.
You know, so she's like, no, we're coming to get you. Just, you know, we're going to just take some extra precautions around the house. So I, for the most part, stayed mostly in my room. When I was out of my room, I had the mask on. Lots of hand washing. Me and Mama Lou, even when I was there without the mask and staying, we weren't sharing bowls. We were keeping a bit distance between us. Then when I came back and I ended up getting tested, came back negative, then it was okay, you know what, mask comes off again. We're now in the house. We're still not sharing bowls, but I can sit next to her while I'm smoking a bowl because I know that I'm negative and that I've been keeping my circle really small. I'm not out there touching a bunch of shit, washing my hands. And, you know, when I'm out in parks like this where there's a shit ton of people, I'm wearing a mask. Well, I wanted to say thank you for bringing me out here. It's really freaking beautiful.
You bet. It was all my pleasure. I love sharing Bellingham, and especially this park. It is one of the most gorgeous places that you're going to find in Whatcom County.
Right on. Just make sure you bring your mask because it's pretty freaking crowded here.
Yeah.
Look at that view.
Look at this, people.
It's so freaking beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah.
Well,
sunsets in Bellingham, folks, not to be missed. Yeah. And especially if you can walk a mile with Seth.
Well, and on that note, we're gonna get ready to head on out. But before I end this walk, and I think I'm at mile 5,895 right now.
Dang.
Yeah. So thank you for walking that last mile.
Boy, are your feet tired?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And as always, guys, it's your hit.
Don't make him smoke all this weed by himself. Walk a mile with Seth. Find the magic. He'll show it to you.
Right on. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, peace, everybody.
Much love, much peace to you all.
Be safe.